All right. Now that I've probably offended quite a few people from reading the headline, because my title is probably going to be something slightly controversial if people don't watch this for more than 5 seconds, um, we're going to talk about Dr. Disrespect. And I feel like this is perfect in the wheelhouse because this is going to be like not a video breakdown, but a cop and law enforcement related breakdown. And this is related to a video game streamer. So this is number one, video breakdown number one of this. So here is my real hot take right off the bat is that number one, I said already, Dr. Disrespect, at least from what we know, didn't do anything illegal. Now, with that being said, is what he did wrong? Absolutely. Is it disgusting? Absolutely. Is it way out of bounds? Absolutely. But criminally speaking, having an inappropriate conversation without context of what we know or don't know is not a crime. I hate to break it to you. And although there will be a lot of people that say, "Well, it should be," and just a million different variations of that, we don't live in a perfect world, and because we don't live in a perfect world, there's not going to be a perfect solution for all this stuff. So we're going to break this down a little bit, and I'm going to try and keep it to 10 minutes. So I keep looking over just to look at the timer here. I got a lot of stuff to kind of jump through here, but here's the real quick down and dirty is Dr. Disrespect got kicked off of Twitch like 4 years ago now. And there's always been speculation as to what the reason was. And he never said. And Twitch never said because there was a non disclosure agreement, which means there was a settlement agreement, lawsuit, everything. And Twitch paid out Doc and probably, honestly, the family or whoever, because it all came out today that Doc was inappropriately messaging a minor, essentially, and that's all that we know. It could be more than that. Who knows? But I'm here to put some cold water on that and say that if a payout was given and if everything happened the the way that transpired, essentially, with this, then there's a reason that this didn't go to court. I'll I'll keep it simplified with that. There's a reason it didn't go to court. The hard truth is a lot of these cases um aren't going to be won in court, and it's not worth it to go to court for both parties, for the victim because you're re-victimizing the victim, and for the offender, especially if we're talking about an online inappropriate conversation and that's all we're talking about. It's going to be very hard to prove in court. Okay, so with that being said, we're already like 3 minutes into this, so I'm going to break down some things here. Let's start with Dexerto's uh um breakdown, okay? Or I'm sorry, their messages. This was a quote from Doc's reply. Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. So he confirmed that there was individual whisper messages with an individual minor, and then a whole bunch of other stuff. So Dick Certo has already kind of moved on from the story, and a bunch of other streamers have already kind of given their 2 cents and all that. Okay, here's the actual um statement. So here we go. I'm not gonna read this whole thing. Yes, he wants to apologize because he already got dumped. He already got dumped from his game company, Midnight Society Game Studio. A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday with Midnight Society. Now, yeah, he got dumped. They don't want to deal with him anymore. Why he was banned from Twitch, but the reasons are outside of my control. I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years, probably from a non disclosure. Now that two former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, I can now tell you my story. So basically, he's insinuating that since they broke the non disclosure, now he can talk about it. Whether that's true or whether he's using that for an excuse, we'll probably never know. Were there Twitch whisper messages from an individual minor back in 2017? Yes. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. Who knows? Unless Twitch ever releases the messages, we will never know if that's true or not. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much into the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Nothing illegal happened. No pictures were shared. No crimes were committed. I never even met the individual. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and that case is resolved by a settlement. That settlement again that Doc got. Let me be clear, it's not a criminal case against me, no criminal charges have ever been brought against me. So that is key. That is key because, again, did what Doc do was wrong? Yes, absolutely. Disgusting? Yes. Uh Inappropriate and on, yes, absolutely. But was it criminal? No. So with that, a little side note, here's my meltdown when I decided to put that in my post. I threw the bait out there and someone got the bait almost immediately. Here's all I said. Just because Doctor disrespects inappropriate things, yes, even with a minor, does not mean a crime has been committed. Just a small tip for the new certified law enforcement experts in the platform, because every time something happens, everyone immediately becomes experts. And here it goes. It's not a good take, man. Doesn't have to be a good take. Still doesn't make it illegal. So I'll go ahead and hit that unfollow because it's an airport, so he's gotta announce his departure. And here's the other guy that had the meltdown. So, do you send inappropriate messages to minors? Would you openly admit that? No, and no, obviously, idiot. Anywho, then he just goes down the rabbit hole and down the rabbit. No one is arguing guilty in context of law. Yes, they are. There are people on Twitter in the Twitter X space all day that are like, well, he didn't commit a crime or he should be in jail because of what he did. He should be a registered sex offender. He's a pedophile. Blah blah blah. If he's not criminally charged with it, then he's not going to be a convicted sex offender. Obviously, can people insinuate that? Yes, but you are taking some. You're going from step A to like step Z, basically. You're skipping all the middle steps of what could or could not have happened, and you're filling in the blanks with your own assumptions just so that you can have your own implicit bias about what happened with the situation, which is where this goes real quick down this whole rabbit hole. Like devil's advocate and saying, well, technically it's not illegal. It doesn't make you seem smart. You're just defending a creep. Not defending anyone. Right here. As I just said, there's tons of people on the he should be in jail bandwagon. He's gonna lose everything, rightfully so, but it still isn't a crime. Then here it goes. So just based on definition, you believe he shouldn't be punished, even though it's credible, and he had inappropriate conversations with a minor that could have irreparable damage. None of that's been proven. None of that has been anything other than inappropriate conversations. That's all that we know. Is that there's Doc has admitted that there's inappropriate conversations, and that the original guy who talked about it said that I believe he said it more honestly he said it was like sexual conversations. But we don't know. We don't know. But not gonna stop going down the rabbit hole. Weird hill to die on. And then I say, do you mean punished or criminally charged? Two big differences. He should be registered. He admitted to having sexually charged conversation with a minor. No, he didn't. He admitted to having an inappropriate conversation with a minor. Again, this is all when we go down and down the rabbit hole. Anywho, I'm spending too much time on this. My whole point with this is that he did not admit more than what he took a settlement for, essentially. And everyone is just going off of filling in their own um, spaces so that they can complete their own story and say, "Oh, this is exactly what he did." Are we ever going to know what he did because it's covered by non-disclosure? Probably not. Probably not. But it's gonna create a lot of entertainment in the weeks and years to come. Because this is big. This is gonna ripple through the streamer space because he's like one of the top guys, and he left Twitch at the top. He was like almost at the top, and then he went over to YouTube and became a huge star. So this is gonna create a big void that a lot of people are going to try and fill. So everyone's dumping in on him here, and rightfully so. He deserves to get everything that's coming to him for this. But in the context specifically, is what he did a crime? We don't know. And here's the hard truth to that, which I've already said before. It's a high burden of proof to say, hey, if you had, let's say, for example, he did have sexually charged conversations with a minor. What does that mean? What does that honestly mean? Does that mean he said, hey, you look good in that outfit? Because that's sexually charged, but is that gonna get you criminally prosecuted and get you land you in jail? Absolutely not. In most places in this country, it's not gonna happen. So, what are the options? The options are, which is like kind of like what Twitch did, is they nipped it in the bud and they said, okay, we're done here, and they bounced him off the platform because supposedly one of the other parts of the story is that he um, did all of this in the DMs of Twitch, so they have access to all of this stuff. So I'm sure what they saw, they were like, okay, that's enough of this, and so they cut him from this. Now, what hasn't really been said yet is he got a settlement. Doc, I don't know if the girl's family ever got anything from this, to be honest. Um, and if not, that's again where it kind of brings up the criminal element. If there was enough there to meet the burden of proof for the crime to prosecute him, don't you think they would have done it by now? And if not, what's the secondary option? The family probably took a settlement, a large settlement from Twitch, Doc, a mixture of both, whatever. And is that right? No. But is a million, 2 million going to get you a lot more justice at the end of the day than trying to take it to court on some, again, speculation here, on maybe some thinly veiled words and language? Because here's the very difficult part, and this, a lot of people brought this up too with the To Catch a Predator. Yes, because they're with all of those cases with the Chris Hansen To Catch a Predator, all of those guys, criminals, they made an act of furtherance by making plans and then meeting the person or who they thought was going to be the person at their house. The farthest that Doc went was conversations and DMs, and supposedly, according to like one or two sources, uh, like questions about if they're going to be a TwitchCon or like inferring to meet up at TwitchCon, but it never got to that point. So again, criminally speaking, it's very very difficult to prosecute that, and it's not an answer that a lot of people are going to like, but it's the truth, and that's really my 2 cents and breakdown thoughts about that. So maybe we'll do another one if another streamer comes out of the woodwork, or maybe if there's a lot more information that comes out of this or whatnot. But that is my streamer breakdown number one. So hopefully this comes out all right. To everyone else, take care and see you guys next time.